This is the Comic Core story. Comic Core.
Kind of, maybe.
What is this show anymore?
I don't know. It's so new, off the rails. I think no format is the format now, right?
It's a new format every week. Right now, it's just me and our good friend Jason. What's up, buddy?
Oh, it's chilling, bro.
Jason's
Another
Comic
Monday
Book
night. Yeah, I forgot I had that there.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks for being patient. We're seeing if anyone else is going to join. We might have some couple people still coming in, but in the meantime, I'll shout out the chat. Jason Smith first off the bat in the tailgate, along with John's Comics with Kids, and Chris Barrett, who's ready for my antics. He says, "We're never ready for your antics, Chris Barrett, but we make do." Just kidding. Wouldn't be the same without you. You're in the chat.
I am.
And Immortal Biggie Shack strapped up and ready to go.
Not bad. Nice little crowd. All the homies. Some homies in here.
Brady Marstead is here. And Downright Nerdy Podcast just joined.
That's what's up.
Thank you guys for stopping by on this impromptu. I don't know. We literally don't have a plan.
No plans whatsoever.
It is the most off the rails we'll ever be.
Yeah, but you should totally show off that Wolverine issue that you're showing.
So I posted one on Instagram a while ago. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see because the glare of the light is gonna be terrible, but this is like this error version of the hologram. You can see.
Is it like a wrong hologram?
It doesn't hologram. So it's supposed to be green and it's supposed to be hologrammed.
Okay.
So there are blue ones that aren't the error, but if you see you can't see the stupid screen, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like nothing.
It's like dark. So I had this one. Well, vice versa, and then I found a second copy. So I got two.
It's the Stare Into Your Soul edition. It's just a void.
It's like if you were the guy from Mallrats and this were the poster that he was trying to look at.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
You want me to put it in the light? Is that going to help? I feel like it's going to make it worse.
Oh, yeah. In the light? Maybe. Oh, kind of. That's a little better, actually. Yeah.
But, so you can see him, but he doesn't.
He doesn't pop.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So there are definitely ones that aren't in CGC. Jason Smith says no. Am I wrong? Is it not there? CGC does designate it
as an error. They have a designation that's an error, or what? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I mean, let the light shine and it will come back. Well, I don't want to do that. Marvel's too cheap to give a whole cover. Oh, what? A hologram? Yeah, probably. That would have been a boss cover.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
They did entire chromium covers, entire boss covers, but I don't think anyone's ever done an entire hologram.
Yeah, they've done some I guess those Spider-Man anniversary ones, whatever they had, but it was just the center. It had a big frame around it.
I want full cover.
Yeah, that'd be pretty badass. Bring back the 90s covers, more foil.
Yeah, definitely more
holograms.
I'm gonna turn that over so now it's not exposed to the light because now you're freaking me out, Jason Smith.
Oh, that'll ruin it. Is that what he's saying?
Well, it'll fix it but by fixing it, it'll ruin it.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
I want it to be broken.
Yeah, you want it to be rare.
So speaking of variants, I want to talk about variants for a bit.
Did you get that Faithless one, the new one?
Oh yeah.
Bags? I forgot to order mine, so I gotta go on eBay sometime soon. Yeah.
I have it right here. I don't know if I can cover enough things.
There's just so many. Is that what's going on?
No, it's just it's not it's definitely dirtier than the Jenny Frison.
Cool. Good. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
it should be.
Here. Let me.
They deserve to be in a bag, then.
1 second.
Tape, lots of tape.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay.
And then you can try to describe it without getting us kicked off of YouTube forever.
What is up, Chad? 90MF. Mr. Gretzky, what's up, my dude? Good to see Mr. Gretzky in here. You sending me on Instagram or in the private chat?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what it looks like yet, so I'm excited to see this.
I know this is thrilling video for everyone like watching me send a picture.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it when you could get your reaction.
Oh, sweet. That's pretty cool. You'd have to cover the lower part and the middle part.
And the middle, yeah. No, it's there's some stuff going on.
I like the how like the candle smoke. It looks like it's like dripping down, but it's of course rising up, but it's just kind of swirling all around.
That's like cool. Her hair is like wrapping around her.
Yeah.
And then there's some other stuff going on.
Yeah, there's like demon hands. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think it's the same body or not. I can't tell. Oh, yeah. I just noticed like her hair from the bottom is wrapping up around her.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh.
That's sick.
There he is.
Hey, what's up?
What is going on? What show is this anyway?
This is technically Story Comic Core, but we're just talking. I just sent Jason a picture of the Becky Cloonan Faithless variant, and he's just admiring that.
Yeah, it was
that's pretty sweet.
Live reaction.
We're doing hashtag reacts now.
Yeah, and then the thumbnail for the video is going to be like,
yeah,
we're going to get sued by the Fine brothers. It's going to be a good old time.
Yeah, I also tried to figure out how to show it on camera, and maybe what I can do.
You would have to upload it and then
maybe I can like show the top half and cover it, and then show the bottom half and cover it. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
I'll just be very careful.
Is it TNA?
So, yeah. So here's the top half.
Hold on. I was pulling up the chat. Let me just get back to this. I don't care about the chat.
Maybe I should make myself full screen. Hold on.
Okay.
I just removed myself. Okay. Hey. Okay. So here's the top half.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice, huh?
She looks like she's in pain, though.
Is she?
It doesn't look like pleasure.
I don't know, man.
You're showing the top half.
Sure. Sorry, Comic Core.
Oh my.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how the hair is like wrapping up though, and then the smoke is coming down. I don't know. It's sweet.
That's a neat looking cover. You said that was Cloonan?
Yeah, Becky Cloonan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does some good stuff.
Yeah, I like her work a lot. She actually did one of the comic shops back in Massachusetts where I live. She did like a whole wall mural.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Was like a pretty good sized wall, or is this like a little section?
No, it was like an outdoor, like probably like 20-foot high thing.
Oh, it's badass. I just saw a video a little bit ago of Ed Piskor, who did the X-Men Grand Design books. I guess he did a collaboration with Nike, and he had this whole entire huge like unveiling. I think it was in New York City. But it's this gigantic wall, and it's just like all his style, like all comic panels, like hip hop like artists and stuff on there. It looks awesome. I love that dude so much, man. I wish I was cool enough to talk with him. He's a local here in Pittsburgh, and I'm always like kind of bashful around him, don't know what to say.
He'll probably be in Baltimore, so we can chat it up down there.
For sure.
I'll be like, hey, Piskor, I know this guy, Comics Mix Explained. He's from around your way. Do you know that dude? And he'll be like, no. And I'll be like, well, here he is right now.
He's big shit, man.
And you're like, Comics Explained, is that his Christian name?
Yeah, right.
Yes, it is.
I've met him like I think 2 or 3 times, but yeah,
he's from the South Pittsburgh Explains.
Somewhere I have a photo of said mural, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it, but
hey man, it is what it is.
Sometimes
you can't find murals.
Sometimes.
So What's the deal with Story Comic Core? Are we just not doing that format anymore?
Yeah, I think that we haven't really like settled on anything that everyone is really psyched about. I don't know. I think we just need to like figure out what the show is, because I don't think any of us really know.
Yeah, I think we're just most stoked about like hanging out with each other more than anything. But then,
honestly, I think that with the format of the show should be finding out what the format of the show is.
It's like,
that's kind of
like in 8 years, we won't know what the hell's going on with the show.
It's a stream about nothing.
Yeah, Comic Core
right,
Seinfeld.
right.
Yeah.
Comic Core Seinfeld. I like that. TiVo is throwing out names today in the Comic Core Facebook chat. Alec, I know you're not a Facebook guy. You're in the IG chat that I was just told. I just found out about the IG chat tonight. I was just like, Legends, like, I don't know, check the IG chat. And I'm like, there's an IG chat. He's like, you're not an IG chat. I'm like, nobody invites me to everything. Sad emoji. So I didn't even know that there was an IG chat. But TiVo from Lords of the Long Box, old vet in the comic book community, had said today that Story Comic Core doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Comic Story Core would, or Story Core. And I think that if we're going to stick with story or dealing with anything that, maybe rearrange the name. I thought
Story Core, Comic Story Core might work, but Story Core is an NPR program.
That's why it sounds so good.
Yeah, that was the whole joke of the title. And maybe making a joke out of the title wasn't the best idea.
Maybe we could focus on speculation and call it Speculation Core.
Spec Core. I'm sure Chad and everyone would love that.
I don't know, man. I'm just throwing some shit out there.
I mean,
maybe a turtles hit the wall and it'll work out. Yeah.
I liked what we were doing, like in the beginning with Why the Last Man, but maybe we just do like one volume of something instead, you know.
That's
we can still continue on our like makeup adventure or whatever, like after that, like in the same episode, you know. Maybe.
If you guys want to talk about Saga,
Compendium or whatever, that's badass. Man. I want that. I need that. It's only like
90 MF Comics said Susan Core. Hashtag Susan Spec. Yeah, I just
it's like hitting somebody with a brick.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll kill someone for sure.
I don't know if it would kill them, but it would definitely mess their day up.
Get a wrestler. Get that wrestler buddy that's staying with us to rip it in half, like at the table.
I want to rip my Saga in half.
You know?
I never have to break my floppies out ever again.
Yeah. Biggie Shag is kind of on my level. Like maybe it was selfish of me, but I did not enjoy doing the show, and it was just me saying like, this is what happens next, and this is what happens next, and letting everyone else make the jokes.
Yeah. Well, I was saying also we could probably do like a book or an issue each if it's like a volume 1. You know what I mean? So we kind of divide it up and like we all take our time explaining each book and get more the chat involved somehow.
Right, and I think that maybe if instead of focusing on a story, we take the time to focus on stories as something that's important about the collection of the medium. So Comic Core itself is mostly, it's us talking, well, Golden Guys is about Golden Age collecting. So it's about Golden Age markets. It's about Golden Age, the sites where they go to discuss these things. It's about the news that's happening throughout the Golden Age. It's about a celebration of a period within the comics that has become niche. That's cool.
So you'd be the Silver Surfers. Is that what's going on? We're gonna jump to the next one.
I'm just saying,
the Silver Surfers.
I mean, everybody is kind of into the Silver Age because it's the birth of what everybody knows. Golden Age has its niche because it's before that. Modern people are collecting variants, and you look at Unlimited is basically, it's a haul and review show. That's not deep on reviews. It's not really deep on hauls. It's just like, hey, what'd you pick up? What are you reading? Sometimes there's topics along with that as well. Friday night is the exact same show, but we all imbibe too much and it loses what it is halfway through, and we just end up yelling at each other. That's the beauty of that show. We know we're going to go off the rails. We always start with a direction, and then we always go off the rails. Thursday is kind of the same exact thing, but entertainment news. So we haven't really found our footing there. And Monday, if we want to focus on stories, we should maybe focus on the stories that we're reading or the stories that are coming to an end, or maybe weekly take a look at a story arc that wrapped up and then look at the whole arc or something of that nature, as opposed to building your own stories, which is fun in concept, or taking a story as big as why. Well, I wouldn't say poor in execution. I had a lot of fun watching those shows.
Thank you. Glad someone did.
I think a lot of people had fun doing that. I think people were interested in what we were coming up with as a group. And even though I wasn't on the show coming up with things, but I thought it was a lot of fun. Little bit of improv with people who aren't exactly improv trained.
I've got two ideas off the top of the old dome. One is called Ask Us Anything, where the chat just asks us questions and we talk about those topics. This could get dangerous. And the other one is called The Geriatrics, which sounds like the Golden Guys, but all we do is talk about 90s comics.
Yeah. I was going to say 90s would be next topic, since everyone's focused on modern and middle. And like that was kind of the era we grew up in. Kind of got into stuff.
Just share our favorite Chromium covers.
That'd be cool.
That's not a bad idea either. Comics off-road. The Immortal Biggie Shack's going to be doing a job. He's going to be going around in a 4x4, bringing comics to people where they don't have paved roads. He's going to be mudding out there. Skydiving comics as well. He put that in the chat. I like that.
We can talk a lot about Valiant.
Yeah, I will let you guys do that show without me.
Cool. I think you're missing out. I think Valiant gets a bad rap. Pre-Unity Valiant is some of the best 90s books.
Nah. 90s lives and dies in Marvel.
It dies in Marvel.
It also lives there.
I pretty much just like the art and stuff from the 90s. I don't think I was so much into the stories.
Anything
that was always dope.
Anything 90s that is picking up value today is Marvel.
Yeah, that's just because people are nostalgic for it.
Because it was so good back then.
TJ said you should call it hacking material.
Nice.
We can just talk about X-Force.
Very good, TJ. Yeah, those are good ideas, though.
People seem psyched about Jack Yosa's 90s image. YouTube is 90. It's all about the 90s. People are into that idea, so I don't know. Maybe something to think about. Maybe we should refine it a little bit more before we just say, "Hey, let's talk about 90s books and show Chromium covers." I mean, that sounds pretty fun, but
right. And
but so did the.
Maybe everybody goes dollar bin diving, and you pick out your favorite 90s book, chat on which book is the best. It's kind of the hunt, but only dollar books and only 90s.
And we have to read them.
Yeah, you have to give a detailed review.
Oh, boy.
You make sure it's 4 people, 4 detailed reviews of 4 books, and the chat votes which is the best book, which was the best find. They don't even have to have the covers attached. They can be beat to shit.
Oh, shit. All right.
90s books have to have the covers. Come on. That's
the best part, right?
Yeah.
It's the icing on the cake.
They're probably gimmicks.
I need to get one of those old school Technicolor shirts where it's like get your heat on there, like your body heat when you touch it.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I had one of those. You jump in the pool with it. It goes crazy.
Yeah. It just shows like your armpit stains everywhere.
Well, I think the gimmick here will only be complete when we get a full series commitment from Chad 90 MF Comics to be on this show with us every Monday to do the 90s.
Monday nights are hard for me. Well, you're in the chat, buddy. Got him.
Nighty,
I
nighty,
don't know. He's
nighty.
probably in bed watching on his phone. Biggie Shack says, I want a show where everyone destroys comics in creative ways.
We used to do that. Was actually the
Blaster
original
Stash It.
Blaster Stash It, right? The original Blaster Stash It. It was, I believe, it was Kirby, Vince, and Huey, and I think Spider Gramps was on show 2, right? And what they would do is they would take the comics that they blasted that week, the shit comics, right? And Vince would make photocopies. He would never actually shoot the comics, but he'd take photocopies of the covers to the range and then record himself shooting them.
That's
and
awesome.
then they put the video up. But then they can never figure out how to actually make it happen on a regular basis because Vince was flaky. But yeah, that was the original concept. Was they blasted the comics that they didn't like and they stashed and kept the ones that they did.
Bake said, I offered to put Naomi 1 in a blender, but no one wanted to send it to me.
I think people would get really upset at destroying comics for some reason.
That makes me uneasy.
Really? I mean, I understand
about it, man.
I can't even throw away books that I hate.
Dude, I'm talking about I will get a lot of shit books sometimes. I will pick up a mystery box from my LCS, and there will be 2 GI Joes in there I want to keep, and the rest, and I paid $7 for it, but there's 40 other shit books in there, and I will still bag and board those issues, and if rip one while I'm bag and boarding them, I'm like, what the fuck? Why did what? I hate it, man. I hate comics should be kept crispy clean. John,
stop using this as a platform to make plans with your friends.
Yeah, we're gonna have a criminal discussion tomorrow, and hopefully we'll continue having criminal because we both read Volume 1, and I'd really like to continue doing all of them if it goes well.
9 Eastern tomorrow night.
Says
criminal.
But if you go 90s comics, I'd feel obligated to be on. It's 90. And Biggie Shack says, I used to love watching dudes break bootleg Transformers. I mean, that's funny, but I don't know. There's something about destroying a comic that doesn't sit well with me.
Dude, and another thing for me is action figure unboxings where somebody breaks a figure's leg off or something. Ooh. That it triggers me in the worst way. In the worst. I just got a figure, right? I put together my Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave. I picked up the Wasp, right? And she's like a peg warmer. She's all over every Target, Walgreens, Walmart, every store where you can buy Marvel Legends. There's a million Wasps on the shelf right now. I got one. I took her out and her arm fell right the fuck off. And I was like, all I got to do is take it back to the goddamn store. But still
upsetting.
It's upsetting.
I was going to make a joke about
my heart.
Greenwich, Connecticut and all the Wasps on the shelf, but I didn't do it.
Aw.
But I guess I just did.
Yeah, you did.
So if you
did without the need for timing.
Yeah, well, it's not my strong suit. If you look at the background that we have here for the Comic Core, right between my panel and Jason's panel, it looks like there's a weird baby's face staring at me.
It's Avengers Endgame, isn't it?
Yeah, you're never going to be able to do that.
Spider-Man or
is that Ant-Man?
I can't do it the right way.
Poking that baby. Can you guys stop poking that baby?
Bake says, setting up a comic conversion and a Home Alone and trying to booby trap the book.
It's pretty good.
I can change the background. I'm in charge. I like the baby's face. He's my friend now.
Mm-hmm. He lives with us now. He's a new member of the Comic Core.
Yeah, it's baby core.
Yeah,
it's like baby metal, but it's
sweet.
Yeah,
I love baby metal.
Comics.
They're coming to town to Orlando in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but they're missing one of the medals.
Oh, one of the babies is gone, or one of the band members?
One of the band. Well, no, both.
So there's only two babies and 3.
There's only medals? 2 babies. Well, the medal was replaced, but the guy died. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, the lead guitarist. But it's like all studio producer made stuff, so it's like they're interchangeable at a certain point.
You know who's a huge Baby Metal fan?
Who's that?
Marty Friedman from Megadeth.
Yeah. You know who else is a huge Baby Metal fan?
True Manchu, baby.
Yeah, I like that. It's like it's just poppy enough, and it's just metal enough, and it just makes me happy because I don't understand what the hell they're saying. They sound like they're happy saying it.
And they say like,
all right. Yeah.
The internet.
Chocolate.
The internet, like musician or artist, I guess, Poppy, Poppy. She just had a new single too. I think it's on like Nuclear Blast or something like that. But it's all it's like mixture. It's like baby metal. It's like gent plus like pop music together. So she's still continuing her weird stuff that she does. So kind of interesting new direction.
TJ said, I saw a video on Facebook a while back where anti-slabbers took a hammer to CGC Spider-Man 300 in an attempt to free it and destroyed the book as well. I went medieval on them.
Yeah.
Anti-slabbers.
Why would you take a hammer to it? It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's like that's got to be the worst way to get into it.
Oh, it's only Spider-Man 300. There's only 1 million of those books out there.
Yeah, it's still worth money.
See, and that's the thing is legit. It's not because there's so many of them. It's not even remotely rare.
Yeah, I don't think I'd burn a comic book just because it has weird connotations, but like I wouldn't be against like tearing one up or like Chris Barrett said, like some creative ways, like I don't know, put it in, like Bake said, turn it in a blender, put it in the oven. You know, I don't know, like even that maybe it's kind of weird, but I don't know. There's just so many of them, especially modern comics, and it's like I don't get why people are so getting out of shape out of it. Like I guess because people put work into it and stuff, but still, it's like I don't know. It's
just like anything that's in fucking like anything in my mind that should be taken care of that isn't being taken care of freaks me the fuck out. Yeah,
and plus I'd rather give it away to someone than destroy it. But.
And it's only certain things. Like I'm not that way about my car. I don't give a shit about that. It gets me from point A to point B, and I don't treat it like a sacred machine. And I know there's people out there that do, and that would look at me and the rate that I change the oil in my car and be like, "Oh my God, you're the devil." But like at the same time, like people who like fold up a comic and put it in their pocket, like I see people do that. I see people do that at cons, and I'm like, oh,
a lot of writers do that
it's a freebie and it's bullshit and it's nothing. I get that, but no, don't do that. I
still bag all my free comics.
Yeah, I do the same. No, I will not change my mind for Heroes in Crisis or King Batman. Whoever bought my Heroes in Crisis in the auction knows that they were double boarded. They were in Mylar. They came pretty. That's the way it works. My King Batman is all double boarded in Mylar. It stays pretty.
And the art's the best part.
The covers look great.
You can like
I have this whole run of Tom King's Batman, and I don't have to tell people when I sell it to them it was fucking garbage.
They get to find out for themselves, right? They read it.
It doesn't. It's not going to say story is fucking garbage. It's going to say every issue near mint.
Going back to your point about Spider-Man 300, everything's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So,
I mean, I agree.
I remember when I bought a copy of Solar 10 for $1 because it was no one cared about Valiant. Now people care about Valiant again, and it's a $50 book again.
Right. I mean, at the same time, I was not one of those people that was going to go out and get a 9/8 copy of New Mutants when it was going for $1,300, when it was going for $2,500, because it wasn't worth that, and the market adjusted itself and it's back down to like $350 where it belongs because those books were so mass produced. There's fucking millions of them. There's a million issues of New Mutants 98. They printed 1 million of them at least, so they're out there. Whether they're in great shape or not, who knows? That's why 9.8 is what it is. But it's not one of those books. It's the first Deadpool, sure.
It's not the first Deadpool though. I mean, it is, but it's not like he wasn't Deadpool.
Right, but at the same time, first appearance of the character, it counts as first Deadpool. I don't have a problem with people saying that's where Deadpool comes from, because the design, that's where he came from. But at the same time, it's not actually rare. It's like, it's not like it's hard to find it. You walk into any comic shop and they will have a New Mutants 98 hanging out somewhere. Either it's like they don't have it out because it's listed on their website or whatever, but if you want to buy it, New Mutants 98 is not hard to find. If you go to a convention and look for it, you will find it. Spider-Man 300, you go to a convention, you look for it, you will find it. Every dealer has 6 Spider-Man 300s for sale. 3 of them are slabbed. It's not rare. It's not worth that kind of money, in my opinion, if you can find it absolutely everywhere. When the census is overrun with 9.8s, it's not something that should be worth so much money. That's my only gripe with that kind of artificial inflation of a book. Like something like, I would say more valuable would be first Spider-Gwen, which is in the first print, didn't have that many printings. It didn't pick up steam because it was a tie-in to an event that hadn't started yet. People weren't buying those books up unless you were subscribed to Spider-Man, like all titles through your LCS. Most people weren't getting those Edge of Spider-Verse books. There aren't that many of them. There's more second prints and more third prints than there are of the first print because they sold out. People wanted them. They went back to print. But that's a book that's actually rare, even though you see it everywhere. It's more rare than the Spider-Man 300.
Right, but so is some weird indie book that no one cares about.
True story, but I'm just saying, as far as something that catches fire and has actual rarity value to it, I think that
people want it as well.
Right. Well, if people really wanted all those 300s and all those New Mutants, they wouldn't be hanging out at every dealer's booth. They wouldn't be trying to get top dollar for something. They would be selling it at whatever price they put on it.
Yeah. Someone must be buying them. I don't know who, but someone must be.
Whereas something like a giant size X-Men #1 actually has rarity to it.
Oh, I went the wrong way again.
You did go the wrong way with it. Fabulous book. That's my grail. I can't find it anywhere.
Well, if I win a second one, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I didn't win that one, but I'm saying, like, I'm not going to buy you one because I can't afford that.
You don't have to buy me anything. I'm really looking for one in Baltimore.
Nice.
If I find one that presents well and is raw, I will pick it up.
That's awesome. That's
exciting. I look forward to hunting with you for that.
Well, we'll see. It'll be out of my price range when I find it, and I'll fucking cry.
And I will be there to hold you, either probably just emotionally.
I'm less bearded than I have been in years past, Alec. I might need to use yours to soak up my tears.
It's very absorbent.
I miss the absorbency of mine.
So way back when this show started, not like as an infant, but just tonight, I had said I wanted to talk about variants a little bit because I this past week have gotten like overwhelmed with the amount of variants coming out that I really want, and that's a problem because I'm looking at potentially spending well over $100 for 4 variants, where I could buy like one. I could buy it for Strange of Spider-Gwen instead.
Yeah, I'd probably buy the first appearance of Spider-Gwen instead than new variants.
But then when one of those variants like hits the ceiling and it goes up to $250, I'm going to be feeling like a jerk off. Mm-hmm. So, like, where is that balance? Because I
think the balance is you have to make sure that if you're taking the gamble on these variants, that they're variants that you can live with the fact that they might lose value and just be pretty parts of your collection. Mm-hmm. I buy variants, but not. I hardly ever try to flip variants. Like I mostly buy the variants that I like.
Right, and I would be buying them because I want them to be pretty parts of my collection. But that's like, variants are such a crapshoot because you can find some in the dollar bin a couple months later, and other ones just are astronomical. Mm-hmm. And I can't find a rhyme or reason as far as It's not necessarily to do with the ratio or the print run or even how
Sometimes
nice
the ratio is pretty much a guarantee that it's going to hold some sort of value.
Yeah, but you can find some 1/100s for like $9.
Yeah, for sure.
But it really depends. 1/100s, I rarely see them in discount bins around here, to be honest. What I can do sometimes is the 1/100s will be not the best cover.
Yeah.
And when that happens, sometimes people see the cover price that my LCS puts on them, don't take into account that box holders get 50% off variants.
Oh, nice.
So if it's a 500, if it's got a $100 price tag on it, it's $50. But then they also don't take into account that it's going to be on sale in a month. And if it doesn't sell in that first 2 weeks, it goes in the variant bin and it sits there. And then when the sale's announced, I'm there and I'm looking for it.
Spine ticked and it gets bent while people are looking at it.
True. Well, not really. I mean, they're normally bagged and boarded and pretty nice in the variant bin. Like that. My LCS has a really nice drawer system, and there's like one little spot in the back at the bottom where the variants go, and then I try to raid them there.
Yeah, for
Chris
me,
says ratios aren't always the best art.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
I guess that's also a matter of opinion as far as what the best art goes. But I would agree that some high ratio variants are just ugly.
Mm-hmm. The last X-Men relaunch one, right? That was an oversized issue. The 1/100 was the Claremont black and white wraparound, right? Mm-hmm. And it was ugly. And I ended up getting it for $15.
Yeah.
So I got a 1/100. But man, it's fucking ugly. It's just not like the original cover has the bright colors from that era, and it's great. The black and white is just it looks like it was photocopied.
Yeah, most recently for variants, I decide when I want to save money. So right now we're kind of saving up from Baltimore Comic-Con, mainly because I want to do some fun hunting there, and buy stuff that maybe I was on the lookout for prior. It might be cheaper later on down the road, it might not be. But I know if there's something I'm really stoked on, maybe I'll go out and get it. Maybe those Faithless covers, I'll go on eBay and get them right away. But
if you need a Clunin, I can probably get you one.
No, that's cool. No, I'm sure I'll find one for cheap. But most of the time, if I see a really nice cover, I'll end up just saving the image on my phone because I'll look at that more than an actual comic book of taking it out of the box and looking at it oh, that's nice, and then put it back. All this is really cool to have it in your collection.
That is pretty good. I like that there.
Good one, right?
Which was that? Is that the 1/25?
No, this was some store exclusive or something. I think it was limited to 500. I think so. This is actually rarer than the one per store, but this was far less expensive. So jump on eBay and get one of these if you want it.
That's awesome.
By the way, that book just announced up to a 5th printing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I definitely recommend getting first pressings of that if you can.
Yeah. Second print comes out this week.
I got one.
You read it?
Yeah, I did read it. I did a review on this channel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I should go back and watch that. Why don't you recap that review real quick so we can actually talk about a story on Story Comic Core?
Oh, I thought it was really, really good. I very much enjoyed the main character. What was his name?
Doesn't matter. The redhead dude.
Duncan was his name. I thought he had a very Peter Parker vibe to him. He seemed like no matter how equipped he was to deal with any situation, it was going to go wrong in one way or another, in mostly a comedic fashion. I did enjoy that about him, and I thought that his grandmother, Gran, apparently she's got a name. It wasn't in the book, even though it was all over the solicits. Elizabeth something. I don't know. But anyway, she is one of my favorite characters that I've read in comics in a very long time.
And she was real sassy.
Yeah, she was like Indiana Jones meets the Golden Girls, and I thought that she was pretty awesome.
We did not review it on Book Club, but I did bring it up, and I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. Just because it's a number one issue. Number one issues rarely give me enough to really go on.
That's a B minus.
No, it's not. It's a B. It's a 4 out of 5. That's 80%.
It's an 8 out of 10.
Wait, don't do a minus scale on Drew Manchu's comic book reviews.
On Comicast, we do like dollar.
Guess what? If it's a 3 out of 5, it's pretty darn fucking good book.
Yeah, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my scale I take into account the art is 1 star, the story is 1 star, the character work is another star, the story arc itself is 1 star, and then am I excited to read the book again is another star. So when I don't have enough of that story arc to judge on, it gets a half star already. So a number one issue is not going to grab it is
already behind the 8 ball.
Yes, yeah. A number one issue is not going to be a 5 out of 5 for me. I have given out 2 5 out of 5 so far, and they were both House of X books.
I was going to say, yeah, both X books.
It was House of X number 2, and then Powers of 10 number 3.
Yeah,
both got 5 out of 5.
Good. Been damn good.
Absolute Carnage. I love got a 4.5. Once in Future, I love that. Got a 4 out of 5. I will be giving out a 5 out of 5 tomorrow. So
stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned and see what that's all about.
Yeah, on Comcast, Once in Future happened to be our book of like the week. Like we had to do a poll on Twitter, and like a bunch of people like vote on which one they want to see featured as the book of the week. And then our rating system is $1 bin, $1.99, $2.99, $3.99 is like the highest you can get. But we all gave it, I think most of us gave it $3.99 or $2.99.
$8.99 special Deadpool biannual.
No, yeah, we didn't do those. Yeah,
64 page.
The Marvel Comics 1000, $9.99. No, we didn't. Either way, we'll rate it like a $3.99 max. But
yeah, like a fool, I suggested we do Marvel Comics 1000 for a book club. So.
Oh no, how are you going to review like every single page? Like
it's gonna be wet. It's gonna be wet and wild.
Yeah, we just made it like one of our discussion points for.
I really wanted to do a Drew Manchu's review on the history of the Marvel Universe, and I started recording it, and I just like stopped a half hour into me talking.
Yeah, you're like,
there is no way to encapsulate what this book is and make it make any fucking sense in a recap, and there's no way to just be like, it was good. It gave me information. The art was solid. That took a minute. Like that didn't make any damn sense. So I scrapped it.
Yeah. Good call.
We'll see how we do. But that 80s Tedesco She-Hulk, I need that in my life.
For sure. That's a good one. Tedesco is very underrated.
That Savage She-Hulk number 1 is shooting up the charts.
Yeah. I just
talked about a $1 bin book a month ago.
I just won my 3rd copy. I didn't win all 3 copies. I won a copy, which will be my 3rd copy tonight.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that used to be able to get that book real cheap. Speaking of stories, I am writing a new comic, and I'm really excited to hear about that.
Yeah. You said you finished writing one, right?
Yeah, I finished the 1st issue. Well, I finished a draft of the 1st issue.
So it's a whole new series? It's not any more missing pieces?
No, missing pieces is already written. I'll send you all the scripts if you want to read the conclusion.
Okay.
Did you produce the entire series or just script?
I just scripted it. Well, yeah, so far. My other book that I did previously, I drew it and everything, but TJ and John have both read it, and they both gave it thumbs up, I think.
They read the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell, man?
I'll send it to you. I don't care.
I'm going to need a copy of that as well, my friend.
There you
go. Yeah, I'm trying to get opinions on it because it,
If you were to write like a review kind of preview for it, what could you say?
Yeah, what will be the synopsis for the
preview section
guide?
So I'll tell you guys off air. I don't want to get it out there and get everyone stealing my ideas yet.
All right.
Okay.
Not that it's very good. I've not done another one yet. Biggie Shack. It is to come, maybe, possibly. If I get off my ass, actually do something. Jason will be publishing Any Missing Pieces. Yeah, man. Hey, if you want to get an artist to draw all of it and just give me some royalty rights, I'm cool with that.
Nice. Pitching into Whitewell Comics. Buying stock.
Buying stock. There are wiser investments, I assure you.
There are worse investments probably as well. Let's go ahead and be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you're starting at 0 with me, so I guess you can't go anywhere but up. Anything else you guys want to chat about this evening?
Yeah, I watched that Star Wars trailer.
Dude, that was awesome. That was
Star Wars trailer? No, not the Mandalorian.
Yeah, the
new teaser for
right.
episode 27
that Army,
has it's basically clips of every other movie.
Yeah,
it's just like a super cut, and then it's like weird lightsaber thing, and I'm just like, the fuck?
Swiss Army lightsaber.
It seems weird that like that should have come out before, don't you think?
I just my whole opinion of it is that like I can't remember the last time something Star Wars came out and I was genuinely excited. And it's got to be Rogue One, pre-episode 8 that was god awful.
Yeah, episode 8 kind of ruined it for me.
Han Solo I thought was fun, but they didn't market that properly, and it could have been a whole lot better. But every time I see it now, it's just like, yeah, we're in damage control mode. Here's a teaser, something visually cool. And it's just like, it doesn't tell you anything about the damn story. Yeah. It's not going to fix the fact that Rey's a damn Mary Sue who has no apparent ties to anything. And I just
ruined it in the last one.
I just don't know how they're going to come back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with episode 8. I actively dislike that movie.
That was awesome.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
Is that where yeah, no, it's terrible. And you know what the sad part is the best Star Wars has ever looked. That movie is absolutely gorgeous. It is the most gorgeous turd.
Chris Barrett says Disney dropped the ball with Star Wars. I would
Force Awakens.
I would disagree. Force Awakens was good, and Rogue One was great. And
Rogue One was phenomenal.
Rogue One is probably like the 3rd best Star Wars movie.
It's my second favorite.
So I mean, even better. So
Empire, Rogue One, and then A New Hope. Yeah.
I think, but so like they did drop the ball, but not initially. I don't know what happened. Like they took the ball running, and then they just fumbled it with episode 8.
Right. Rogue One was so perfect. I felt like I was reading an extended universe novel.
I liked it, but I didn't love it. The whole entire part with what's this dude with the hooded eye? That's just I don't know.
Saul Guerrero. I guess you didn't watch Clone Wars.
No. What is his name? The dude, the actor.
Oh yeah, Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. Yeah. So I'm assuming he was in. You said he was in What is it? Clone Wars stuff. Is that why?
Yeah, the character Saul Guerrero was in the Clone Wars. That's where he came from. So he's like,
you got weird to introduce him and then kind of get rid of him right away. And it's like, all right, well, I guess he's done.
But they didn't really introduce him and get away with him. They introduced him. They got to kind of see him be put on the path where he was going to lose his mind. And then in Rogue One, he was just a crazy dude.
Yeah, I like the pack of characters that they had. It was like a lot of fun to watch their adventures and everyone's interaction together. That's like the fun of it. But I mean, I don't know where are they going to go from here. I mean, I think everyone's mostly excited about the Mandalorian out of anything.
Mandalorian looks
incredible.
Incredible. So, but looks amazing.
Going back to what you just said, like they didn't show you anything about the story. It's just a bunch of cool, flashy looking stuff.
In Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I watched the footage of before all this trailer came out.
Yeah, I didn't watch the footage from Celebration.
Yeah. What that was like a couple months ago. It was like the first 10 minutes or something like that. It was fantastic.
Right. My criteria for The Mandalorian looking good is completely different because that's going to be serialized storytelling. And I think that I trust the team that's going to be doing the storytelling because it's the same team that has been working on the animation stuff. The same story crew is breaking that story, and we're getting that the creative team that's directing it is going to be great. I wanted to see what kind of effects budget they're going to put into it. That's what I wanted to see on The Mandalorian. Out of a Star Wars second trailer, you're giving me the same voiceover with one more line that you gave me in the first trailer. And beyond that, you're giving me clips of every single movie that isn't this movie.
Yeah.
Then there's one lightsaber fight looking thing going on. And then it's not even a Swiss Army lightsaber. It's just like a switchblade with a giant. It's like a Darth Maul switchblade thing, and it looks cool, sure, but it doesn't.
Be a dream sequence or something, It's like, is she really going to be an evil version or?
Right. It's like they wanted to evoke the same feeling that you got in the Phantom Menace trailer, where Darth Maul has one lightsaber, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Bam, bitch, it's two." And it was such a pimp cut into that trailer that I remember being a kid and going, "What the fuck is that?"
Yep.
And completely.
Good. I fell in love as a kid.
I did. I still do. My mother probably slapped me in the back of the head in the movie theater. But this is just like, whom, and the whole thing snaps together, and you're like, okay, old hat, I've seen that. Why that? It's like, for me, the tines on the side of like Kylo's great sword lightsaber that just make no goddamn sense whatsoever.
Just the guards, cool. Yeah, it's like a sword like a broadsword with the guards. Yeah,
right. And it's like, okay,
you're gonna hurt yourself or your wrist or your forearm more than anything.
He probably cut himself in the wrist with it or the forearm at some point before it became useful.
Right.
And it's just dumb, and it's meant for visual effect. This again is just dumb. Why would you have a double-bladed lightsaber like fucking Shatterstar?
I thought it was just a weird trailer in anyways. It was just like old stuff, great. And then all of a sudden you have 1 minute or like 40 seconds of new stuff. But then it ends on that one dark note at the last second. That's the only thing that was really cool. I mean, I like the one part with like all the destroyers all lined up in formation. That was pretty tight. We've seen that kind of before. But there at the end, it's like, okay, well, 1 second is something cool. Like, where was the Knights of Ren? Where is like
all the Knights of Ren are never coming back.
The Knights of Ren are not a thing.
It's done.
It's going to be one of those things that they're like, well, we said it in some sort of source book, but it was never in the canon, and they're going to
make like a side movie or TV show about.
They're not going to do any of those side movies until they prove that they can make money on.
I think that the reason Mandalorian
Disney stuff is really going to have to take off for them to do more side project movies.
I think everyone in the world is going to subscribe to this.
I don't know. They put that Benioff and Weiss. They were giving Benioff and Weiss a trilogy, and that's on hold. So they basically are like, yeah, you can produce your own trilogy of movies. Wait a second, maybe you can't. That whole Rian Johnson trilogy that he got greenlit, that's on hold. That's not happening now. Basically, they're saying we're not going to do another Star Wars movie for like 3 more years. So, and they don't know which one they're going to do yet, whether they're going to do this Benioff and Weiss trilogy, or they're going to do this Rian Johnson trilogy. I hope they tell Rian Johnson to kick rocks, because story-wise, he just completely
screwed given the platter and just dropped on the floor.
Do you think maybe just a thought off the top of the old brain pan, squeezing the old mind grapes here? Do you think they're waiting to see how well Disney Plus does before they decide if they want to continue to do theatrical releases or stuff like that?
I think that might be the case. I think that they might be able to talk Benioff and Weiss, who are a series producer, into being a series producer for Disney Plus Star Wars. That is something that they probably will be able to do. I think that Disney Plus is going to blow up.
Everyone in the world is going to subscribe to it.
I haven't talked to anybody. Like DC Universe Online came out, and it took me forever to hop on that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I didn't know a whole lot of people as well that were already hopping on it. Like we're a community of content consumers. Let's just say that we are content consumers. If you put out The Boys, I had to figure out whether or not I had Amazon Prime and sign up for this, or at least download the app that I never used before, and make sure I could sign in to watch this show just because it was a comic book property that I was excited about. And you didn't get that kind of buzz from the DC app, but the fact that you're getting that kind of buzz from this Disney app, I don't know anybody who's not excited for it.
It's the difference between here's Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol.
Right.
Maybe those are done really well, but no one cares about them the way they care about Star Wars and movie character.
I mean, Disney has these big dick swinging properties. It's you can't mess with that. Of course, people are gonna go crazy over it, and then all of a sudden, all the cartoons too. It's you get all the kids that want to do that.
Did
all
you
the
guys
families that want to do it for their kids, and then you give stuff that their families and their dads grew up with, like Star Wars and other things like that. So it's of
and
course.
you're also gonna get stuff like The Simpsons and
Right,
Family Guy.
exactly.
Did you guys see the WandaVision? Any of the stuff about WandaVision?
I heard a poster, and it was more like the Tom King kind of throwback style with old font too. So
I didn't see any of the footage or the teaser thing that they put together for D23, but all the interviews, everybody that's involved has referred to it as a sitcom.
Yeah, their stage walkout music was 1950s kind of sonnet instrumental kind of music, with a kind of violin.
It's gonna be. I think it might be shot kind of a Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
With more sinister undertones.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And I'm kind of down for that.
The issue 1 of the Tom King Vision series just went up in value after D23. So I would assume someone saw the trailer and said, "Oh, they're taking stuff from this."
Totally. I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
If we get a Vision on TV, I'll be so happy.
I think it's
I don't think they're going to go that far with it.
I think they'll touch on it a little bit and then just go far left.
Well, apparently Kat Dennings is involved.
That sucks. Well, I guess they're probably
not really. I mean,
they brought her
kind of talented, if you know what I'm saying.
She's got huge tracts of land.
Huge talents.
The quality of the show will be well put together, especially since Elizabeth Olsen is lacking in that category.
Someone worked today. Go ahead.
I also wanted to touch on the Mandalorian. I think working because, like we're talking about before with the X-Men, or comic franchises in general, or just any movie franchise, is you touch on the nostalgia and then you give some new spices on top of that. So it has you don't just do all new stuff off the bat, like 7 or the 8, whatever the one that messed up, and so it's kind of there for it's a little something for everyone. But you got to do it right. Like Hickman, he had these classic characters we love, little twists. Here in Mandalorian, you have kind of classic era of stuff and some missing pieces with a new twist.
I've heard that comics garbage. Missing pieces.
That?
You said missing pieces. So I was just
okay. Gotcha. I see.
Yeah, I would agree. If you're going to do something that is already a property, you have to kind of have that foundation of nostalgia, but you can't rely on it.
Exactly.
Ricky Marstat in the chat has asked this question on a couple of occasions.
What's that, Ricky?
And he wants to know if Doomsday can wield a Black Lantern ring. I am not a Green Lantern fan. I do not know how Black Lantern rings work, Ricky.
I think you have to die first. I think you have to be dead.
And can Doomsday die?
I don't think so. I think the whole point of Doomsday is to not die because he kind of evolves past that all the time. But I mean, maybe.
It could be argued that no one in comics can die, so no one can wear a Black Lantern ring.
I mean, they can die as far as the story is concerned at the moment, and their momentary death will allow them to take on a dead person's persona. I don't think that Doomsday can die, so I don't think he
Also, I
can
think his
wield the
fingers
Black
might be too
Lantern ring.
big to fit the ring.
Well, I don't the lantern rings like conform
Yeah, they
to
do. Yeah.
the size of your
That's why I
fingers?
that's like big squidgy
Kilowog's
guy.
got some sausage fingers there, and he's doing all right.
True.
For sure.
It'd be cool though. I'd like to see that, but I don't know. I think he'd be a better
Doomsday
Red
is a
Lantern.
bad dude. Yeah, I would agree. Someone at work today asked, "Do you think Doomsday Clock will finish by the end of the year?" And I said, "There's no way.
Nope.
I don't think so either.
Absolutely 0%.
We were supposed to do a comic court about Doomsday Clock in Baltimore, me against Seawood, and that book is not going to be over.
20 or 21.
Yeah. That book's never going to end. It's never going to come out. We're never going to find out what Rebirth was all about. We're never going to find out what the fuck Stargirl or Saturn Girl is doing. We're getting a new Legion to super. No, we're not. We're not going to get any Legions of superheroes either. Nobody cares. It's all going to go down the fucking toilet. Like, DC Comics is so bad right now.
Doomsday Clock is what brought me like back into comics. That and Batman Metal, like those two like franchises. Because
at least Batman Metal was good.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, I love Doomsday Clock for what it is and what it planned to do, but it just sucks because like once I started reading those, I'm like, okay, well now I got to read like Rebirth and like start to catch up with all the old stuff, you know. So I read like a lot of the Tom King stuff. I read like Titans and like a lot of different Lanterns. Green Lantern was awesome. Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps was amazing. But then you see all these like little pieces of what Jeff Johns was doing when he was dropping in for Doomsday Clock. And then just to have it all just like taken away, it's like, this sucks so bad. I was really wanted to like, I was hoping they were going to do like a reboot after Doomsday Clock, just kind of with everything combined, where it's a new something, a new stage.
I thought they were going to, and that was going to be the end of Rebirth.
And now I guess the new reboot might be after this Year of the Villain stuff, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares? I'm not reading it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to read it. But
I'm going to keep reading Tom King's Batman because I read Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep being disappointed in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Detective's pretty good. Teen Titans has been decent. And I like Deceased because it's a really cool separate universe. Alec, I know that you had a bad experience with Deceased #1.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that one.
But
if you were a fan of Injustice at all,
that's great.
I suggest you give it another try. Maybe when the first trade comes out.
Fan or very good.
It's not super great, but it's just it's a fun, different universe. That it's like one of those alternate realities where the onset of it is a very sharp fork, right? So there's a lot of things that are exactly the same about the universe, but so many things have taken a very sharp left very quickly. And,
this. Yes, these are my headphones cables.
Umbilical cord, yes.
Yes, if an alien's trying to mind meld me. Sorry.
I don't know. I think Deceased has some legs as far as like the way that Injustice went on far longer than it probably should have. Mm-hmm. Or like at least you would think, oh, this universe based on the video game, the tie-in book, isn't going to be something that goes on for 7 years, and it did. Yeah. I think that those kind of late in the story, but we'll see. I don't know. There are only 4 issues in. It might just be 6 and done, and we never get any more of it. But I didn't enjoy it.
It's a variant seller, is what it is.
It is a variant seller. Those horror variants are amazing.
They're very good. I won't deny that. I really wanted the Nightmare on Elm Street one until I read issue 1. Then I said, I don't want this book in my house. What do you think about wrapping this up?
Yeah, let's do it. We've been on for over an hour, right? We did it.
We made it. We're back on the rails.
We did it. Hooray.
Back on the rails just in time for Golden Guys tomorrow.
That's right.
We got back on the rails with StoryCorps. Yeah, we did it.
Don't say StoryCorps. That is copyrighted.
We got a copyright strike when we said StoryCorps. Yeah, we did it.
And we also accidentally showed boobs on a cover of a comic.
And I ripped off the Dora Explorer song. Yeah, we did it.
It's art. It counts as not. It's fine.
That's right.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and thanks everyone in the chat for hanging out for this wild ride. Maybe we'll try some '90s fun next week if we can get in touch with the other members of the Corps.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Or maybe Drew, you can join us.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down. I'll be here by 10:30.
That's a
work ends at 10. I gotta stop at the Wawa for coffee.
Oh,
I'll
man.
be here at 10:30.
All right. Well, we will figure something out.
Yes.
Susan Corps.
Susan Corps for
Yeah, we also do a speculation show. And TJ's very sad that we're leaving.
I'm sorry, TJ.
I've been up since 6. So
Me too.
TJ, you can watch the replay. And then you can feel like we're still here.
Almost the same. Baby Shack is definitely on board for the 90s idea. So
awesome.
I'm glad we got some support.
Off to go hunting.
Yeah, I have to find some time to get to a shop because I'm not going to count like work.
We can call it Totally Comic Core.
Totally.
Totally.
Or Comic Core Extreme.
I love it. These are all good names.
Turtle Power. No, wait, that one's taken. All right. We'll be back next week with something fun.
Age of Apaka Core.
Wow. All right. On that note, we're not gonna get better than that. So enjoy your night, everyone. Bye.
True Manchu, baby.
Now we get like the 5 awkward seconds of us still going.